Hello, Flamettes. Hello, welcome to Laugh and Learn,
shit.
ladies and gentlemen. Language, Lauren.
Sorry.
Miss Marsha, your daughter's using profanity, and I know you raised her better than that. Oh my God. Welcome to Laugh and Learn, ladies and gentlemen. We're sorry about the delay, but we try not to have any hiccups on today. So we looking forward to you guys coming. Lauren's headphones is acting crazy, but I am here, and Kendall is here, and Lauren is here, and you guys are here. So yeah, Triple is on vacation, and so is Nick. Nick is on vacation in Mexico.
Boom.
So,
Fixed him.
Yay, you are professional, Lauren Hogan.
I try.
So you will get the combo today of the Lorene Hogan and the Flaming Marine and the Mr. Ken. By the way, y'all get all of my inboxes and all on the lap at Kendall, our cameraman. Yes, he's good looking. Y'all is at him throwing panties at the screen and everything, babe. He got a girlfriend.
He surely does. Kendall, your girlfriend's crazy, right? He said, yeah, she is.
She's part Asian. Understand?
She's crazy.
She's damn sure
Y'all
crazy.
better stop it. She's crazy.
Hey, welcome to guys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining us. We are going to try to steer away from as much of the vaccine conversation as we can because, as you saw last week, I don't know if the internet was acting up, but they flagged not only our page but so many of our listeners' pages. So at this point, with whatever is going on with the coronavirus and the vaccine, whatever the decision you have decided to make, you probably got your mind made up anyway. So it won't make a difference what the hell we say. So how about we not gonna talk about it? Whatever decision you decide to make, please let it be yours.
And just stay safe. My God.
That's it right there. That's it right there. That's it right there.
So what are we doing today? What are we talking about today?
Well,
Mr. Monroe?
I've decided to let you guys know that tomorrow I'm in a funk today. Happy, nervous, excited, a lot of emotions because tomorrow I am doing something that I am glad to be doing. But because of the state of the world, I'm actually a little nervous about it. That my son is going off to college, so we're taking him to Tennessee State tomorrow. We're flying out tomorrow evening to get his room together and drop him off, and then I'll be back home on Friday. I'm excited about it, and I'm nervous about it because of, the state of the world. But he is a good dude, and he is a lot of me in his head. So we're gonna have prayers and pray to my son, be safe, that we have safe travel. I'm taking my baby with me, so.
I'm excited for you. And I know we've kind of talked about this offline, but I think any kid that can go to an historically black college, especially a black kid, it's so important. We all know here that I went to Spelman. It was the greatest experience of my life. And I'm so glad that your son is going into this new journey, this new experience. He's going to experience so many new things. He's going to learn so much more just about his culture and his heritage and where we came from. It's going to be so great for him. He's going to have a great time. I know you may cry a little bit later. You may feel great that your house is, you got one kid down, but I know you're going to miss him like crazy, but he's going to have a great time.
Well, you had me until you said that part about where he came from. He really don't want to see where he came from.
But
that was a joke.
No, he's going to have so much fun, and I'm really excited for Barbara. He deserves this, and he's going to be in a red state, so he's got to keep his head on the swivel.
And I think part of that is making me leery too, but Tiffany Haddish came over yesterday. We barbecued. We were going to do a trunk party live, but yesterday Tiffany decided to be my girlfriend as opposed to being the celebrity, the star. She wanted to be the auntie. She wanted to be kick the bobo. So we barbecued. She brought greens that she grew and cooked out of her own garden. They were absolutely delicious. I'm gonna let y'all know if they in the kitchen. Kendall gonna get some. Y'all can get some when y'all done. And we just hung out. She stayed until 3 o'clock in the morning. She sat on the couch. She bought waist beads. Well, she didn't buy waist beads. My girlfriend Joanna.
Are you showing skin?
I'm
my goodness!
Y'all see my waist beads?
Wait, show the camera that way.
Y'all
show
see
them.
my waist beads?
Ooh.
So
Flame is getting naked. Oh my God, y'all.
The waist beads. So let me tell you about the waist beads. The waist beads that you can order from at Joanna's Collections. Train your waist. So you put them on.
Really?
Oh, they really do. So when you eat too much, they get tight.
Oh, that's.
And you can't take them off, so you have to realize, ooh, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it really does work, and I've had them on since last Thursday. Have not taken them off.
Okay.
And it keeps if I drink too much or eat too much, and your stomach expands, it makes you like, okay, I don't want no more because it's tight.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. We used to wear those like for fun when we were kids, but now it was just
and
like,
they're supposed to have some kind of significant meaning. So if you guys want to order these waist beads, order at Joanna's Collections on Instagram. She also is the same young lady that has been doing my daughter's hair since they were 3 years old at the shop, which is called Hair 911 here in Long Beach. Cause I don't comb hair. I don't even comb my hair. You should see what my hair look like up under this hair.
Don't expose your business now. Wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that. But no, like I said, I'm excited for Bruh. You raised an amazing kid.
Thanks,
and he's gonna have an amazing time.
I
So congrats to you. Congrats to you.
I'm dropping off my kid, but I'm dying to see what man comes home to me.
Because that's what you're gonna get.
Ooh. And then next week we are going to New York.
For what? What's in New York?
I'm going to Ida Rodriguez's 1 hour taping of HBO for her 1 hour special, and we're taping The Breakfast Club on the 18th. So I'm sure it will air on the 19th.
How many times is this?
This will be time number 4. 3 in studio. No, 2. Is it 2 in studio? 3 in studio.
3 in studio.
3 in studio and 1. No, it's not 3 in studio.
You did
2 in studio. 2 in studio, 1 on live, and then this one will be the 4th one.
Okay, yeah.
So it'll be much more fun in studio. We got some topics we're going to talk about, including the future of Laugh and Learn. We're going to talk about it publicly. Where we going, y'all? Where we going? How we making some changes for Laugh and Learn in the new season coming up. So we'll be excited to talk about all of those things, and even the direction of what we're going to talk about. I thought I had turned my ringers all the way off.
Very unprofessional, as you would say.
Very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
So, if we have to go to the news, Lauren Hogan, how's your week?
My week, like I said, I'm going to Atlanta on Thursday again. My travel schedule's kind of gotten a little crazy. It's a crazy time right now. You know, I'm a little nervous now with all of, what's going on with, I'm going to say we can't say the word, the V word, right? We got to be careful. But
that and traveling on the plane with the lunatics.
I've seen so many things about, people just freaking out on planes and flight attendants duct taping them to the seat.
Did you see them duct tape? Yeah. They didn't have the good duct tape. Because if y'all had the good duct tape that I use when I'm doing drag shows, baby, he would have been stuck to that chair for about a week.
It's just crazy. People are wilding out and everything. So, and I'm flying like at least once a month until the end of the year, at least once a month. So I'm a little apprehensive. I have my mini little can of Lysol like you gave me. I wipe down the seats and I just observe. I just observe the craziness on the plane. I just, I'm saying my prayers and trying to keep my karma positive.
Now, let me ask you a question, Lauren. Just happens that, or for instance, what if you are on a plane and you get somebody that's erratic or, over the top or drunk or what have you, and they're sitting next to you?
Oh, I will push the flight attendant, the little call button at the top, and bring them over here.
What if they get a little frantic?
A little frantic? I will go get the flight attendant.
No, I need you to take off one of your heels.
No, because see, I can't get one of them numbers because I fly too often. I can't. Delta can have problems with me. I fly too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. But let me tell you, if somebody tries to open up a door like they did on that other Delta flight, best believe I will tackle them like a linebacker.
And Lauren's a big girl.
I'm a big person. That's what I'm saying.
She's a big girl, y'all. She's tall.
So I will tackle the shit out of you if you try to do that. That's no.
Did y'all hear all that? Did y'all hear all that professionalism? Listen, just go like my life is on the line, and what comes down to the crunch comes down to the crunch.
I will tackle you like a linebacker. Okay, I'm a big person. I'm tall and I'm pretty strong. So we're not doing that.
I'm going to take one of my wigs out of my backpack and choke the shit out you with it. I'm letting you know in the game. And then I'm going to stuff it down your throat like it's a Brillo pad. You ain't finna, babe, you're not finna get rid of me. I got something to do. So let's start off with talking about Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo. So everybody is saying that they don't agree that Chris Cuomo did not speak about his brother. Let me tell you something. I love the loyalty of Chris Cuomo defending his brother. And when I say defending, by him not speaking about it, to me, that's defending about it. But that is his job. He does work for CNN News. But I love the fact that his loyalty takes precedence over, his family loyalty takes precedence over his job loyalty. If they decide to get rid of Chris Cuomo is good looking. He reports the news. He's very strong. He will get another job. But as far as Andrew Cuomo, I've been looking at some of these reports of some of these women. One lady was on the news today talking about his very large hand reached out and touched me, and I said that we were going to get in trouble. Girl,
what?
This is what one of the accusers said this morning. I was watching CNN. first of all, you already knew what the situation is. Plus, if he got a large hand, he has a large hand to hold something large for a reason. It wasn't her little flat white ass. Let me just say that because I seen her on TV this morning. He got a large hand to hold something large. You probably should have played a little bit. And with all of these allegations, now I'm not saying that he is guilty and or innocent. He has been allegedly accused, but he hasn't been
indicted.
Right. Exactly. The Democrats, my Democratic Party, and I am a Democrat, my Democratic Party are pussies right now. I'm just going to say that. Because the meaning of ride or die has nothing to do with the Democratic. All you thugs out here, and I'm ride or die, and I'm standing with man. Baby, you can take a great lesson from the Republicans on ride or die. Because when I tell you, I ain't giving them no pat on the back, but they know the exact meaning of what ride or die means. Because when I'm telling you, we are watching them in the wrong, and they still standing for each other. That is the meaning of ride or die. I do not want Andrew Cuomo removed. I think that he should finish out his term. And if y'all gonna come with something later, then do it then. Y'all didn't do it to the orange one. And he had way more accusations. And y'all had facts. And y'all had real stuff on him. And y'all didn't remove him. And y'all tried to impeach him twice. When I said 2 years ago on They Ready that Nancy Pelosi said that we were not ready to impeach, I didn't mean that she didn't have the goods. I meant that as a Democratic Party, we won't stick together. We all over the goddamn place. No loyalty. Everybody throwing each other under the bus. And then y'all move too quick on this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. But that's how I feel about it.
No, I think, well, I'll say a couple of things. One, to the Chris Cuomo not covering what was happening with his brother. And actually, my mom and I kind of talked about this too, is I think Chris Cuomo is a seasoned anchor on CNN, and I think that he actually has the ability to pick and choose what stories he wants to cover or what content is in his show. We'll say that. So to that point, I don't think that he really wanted to speak on his brother, and I don't think that him speaking up on behalf of his brother was going to do anything other than cause him more negative press, meaning Andrew Cuomo. I don't think his brother speaking on Andrew would have helped him in any way, shape, or form. So I agree on the fact that, you know, he chose his counterpart, Don Lemon, to cover the story in totality, and he did it in a way that didn't look biased, which was better in terms of news coverage, because we all know you're not supposed to be biased in news. However, I do agree with you on the Democratic front. Like, I've seen Joe Biden make comments, you know, reporters asked him, should he step down, should he resign? Joe Biden was like, yes, I stand by my words. I think that if charges were drawn and he was indicted, I think it would have been appropriate for all the Democrats to walk away from him. But I think, to your point, is that we're so concerned as Democrats what the outside, you know, world thinks and what the perception is, that we don't take a second to say, hey, let's look at this, let's analyze this, and let's make a strategic plan around it to say what this is going to mean for our party. Instead, we have all of these, you know, people that are like, oh, no, we don't want bad press. We don't want bad press as a party. So I think as a whole, it's to our detriment. And that's why, as a Democratic Party, we are just so separated and divided, and it looks like we don't have our shit together. So I agree with you definitely on that front, but no formal charges have been brought against Andrew Cuomo yet. So we don't know what's going to happen. But I did see Leticia James's report, the Attorney General, that these women were credible. So I do think that they should be acknowledged in what they're saying. Like I said, never deny somebody's experience, especially if it's traumatic. But I think the Democrats should have waited to make any statements until formal charges were brought.
Well, I personally think that they're holding his feet to the fire because he stood his own ground against the whole corona thing when it first hit.
And Trump, too. Let's not forget about that. He was fighting with Trump a lot as well.
Yes, he was. And so I believe that a lot of this is backlash from that. But you see what happened. The other one stood his ground, and you see Florida's numbers. Yeah. I'm just saying. New York is doing better than Florida.
But even if we talk about, too, just being, you know, supportive of your party, the Republicans rallied behind Trump despite all of the sexual, you know, allegations that were against him. And what happened? It just quickly faded out of the news. And he was still elected. And we heard him on camera, on video, audio, say that you can grab a woman by the P word and get away with it because you're a celebrity. And y'all still voted for him. He hadn't even won at that point. And y'all still voted for him because y'all let that dumbass, what was his name, who released Hillary Clinton's emails or tried to release, what was his name? And Donald Trump fired him about 2 weeks later. Oh, Jim Comey.
Yeah, his stupid ass. See, you wusses, y'all pussies. I said, this is coming from a trans woman. You're pussies. I like a good pussy, but not those kind. Woo! I said it. I ain't by myself. Kelly, you gonna leave me hanging? Listen, while we talking about recalling and getting rid of, I'm going to California.
Oh Lord.
I support Gavin Newsom. Cancel me, fight me, argue with me. Let him get his term out. What y'all mad at Gavin Newsom about? Oh, he went to lunch at the French market with no mask on.
Listen, I think that this is one. I'm pissed because my taxpayer dollars are going towards a stupid recall election.
Stupid ass recall.
I'm really pissed. They said that this whole recall election is costing taxpayers $276 million. So one, I'm pissed about that. And two, I don't think that he's going to be, pushed out of office. I think Gavin Newsom is going to finish out his term. Has he been the greatest governor? One can argue no.
Well, he was a lot better than Schwarzenegger.
Thank you. He's a lot better than what the hell we've had in the past. So Gavin Newsom can stay in his seat. Let him finish out his term. He's got some type of common sense. He's related to Nancy Pelosi. That's his auntie. So
long money, baby.
So I'm just saying, I think he should be able to finish out his term. But more so, this is a ploy from Republicans, too, to just create, dissension among the ranks. And hopefully, get some other supporters in line when it comes for the 2024 election.
Yeah.
When it comes to the presidency seat. So I think that's all this is the Republicans. We're going to see these, these Democratic governors and mayors and different things being recalled and different articles coming out and scandals about them to just help, the Republicans gain some more support because they're really screwing over America as a whole in terms of voting rights and a myriad of things I can bring up. So
I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like all these side swipes throwing their hat in the ring to try to become governors of all these unqualifieds and non-qualifieds throwing their hat in the ring to try to recall Newsom. Larry Elder. Larry Elder has been a staunch Trump supporter and a ass-kissed Uncle Tom asswipe as long as he has been in the public eye.
What I say about Larry Elder is he's Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django.
No, yeah, Stephen from Django. He worse than Stephen from Django because he ain't even a bootlicker. He an ass licker. Then let's go on to this other one, the Katie Bruce, who kept telling something. He was running for governor. I'm sorry, let me say the correct pronouns. She was running for governor.
You said Katie Bruce.
I said Katie Bruce. That's her name, Katie Bruce. But then she realized she didn't have a snowball's chance in hell at winning nothing. She better be glad. She should have went out the public eye after she killed that white woman in Malibu when she ran over with a car. Let's just go there. Then now she's going to be the newest contestant on the season of Survivor. There was always a method to the madness. Never was she running to run for governor. She just was trying to get another TV gig.
Well,
hats off to Kris Kardashian for pimping the shit out the entire family.
Did you see that too? I saw a sneak, well, not a sneak, but a little short snippet of the Caitlyn's girlfriend actually called Kris and was like, "Hey, we're trying to get some more buzz around Caitlyn's career. Do you have any suggestions?" And Kris helped. Like, Kris was like, "Here's what I recommend that you do to, get some more engagement and some more publicity." Like, Kris is a master. Yeah, Kris is a master at her craft. She knows what she's doing for sure.
I would love for her to be my manager, not to replace you, Lauren. But some of that shit that she would try to be getting me to do.
We can call her a consultant.
Right. I'm not down for it. I'm not down for it. So no, I'm team Gavin Newsom. I don't know if he'll ever know who I am or see this, and it does not matter because he got my vote the first time. And guess what? I'm gonna vote for the pretty nigga again because he is a pretty nigga. Let me just tell y'all that. He's a pretty man. Is that why I voted for him? Partly. Partly. I love when people say that. Partly.
No, but I think he'll be fine. I don't think his seat is going to be overturned.
Hats off to all of the Olympians from the United States Olympics that got garnered awards and so many unhidden names and so many names that we had not heard of have really came up. What was the one young lady name who won like 11 running awards and we never heard her name? Everybody was so busy talking about
Sydney McLaughlin.
Yes, and she just came out of nowhere and just snatched them. So congratulations to her. Hey, TT Jan, bring TT Jan got her a new name. She finally got TT Jan.
She is like, I am going to market myself. I love to see it. Let's see if it pops up. Yep, there she is. Right there. Come on.
The real TT Jan. Hi, TT Jan. Girl,
and you got a new picture and some lips, they pink. TT Jan. Ooh,
yes. I did update everything you advised, Flame, but I had to wait on folks who have real jobs tend to those matters. But yeah, applies to all the Olympians, all of them from the United States. It has been an interesting ride with the Olympics this year. And I didn't watch as much as I wanted because real time had you up at 4 something in the morning. You know what I mean? So that, but I watch, believe me, and I support it. So yes, yes, yes.
And I think the U.S. got the most medals too out of any country. So
we did. You know, first it looked like China was going to give us a run for our money in terms of gold, but we just soared past them. We crushed them for medals and gold. So yeah,
I do want to give a shout out to Jamaica in terms of the women that were running. They made quite an impact, and they're just beautiful specimens. I just got to say,
they sure are.
So
they sure are.
The agility, the speed, the form. It was. I'm very happy for Jamaica too.
Jan, what do you think about them trying? What do you think about Cuomo and Chris? I saw your comments up there earlier. What do you think about Chris not speaking about his brother, and what you think about Andrew Cuomo?
Well, I mean, it is a choice what Chris wants to speak about, and they're not going to force you to do something to incriminate yourself or put you, where it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, it is a professional arena. CNN, like many other outlets, I think for Kumo, I'd like to see him, if he had all this luggage, I would have liked to see him mind his manners a little bit, because the Democratic Party is a party of everybody.
You're speaking about Andrew.
I'm speaking about Andrew now, okay. And I apologize. If he had this kind of luggage, pick your battles. You know what I mean? I've read that he has a very strong personality, and I'm not opposed to that in certain rooms of the House. But, when you're out on a public forum and you're the governor, I think he should have been more business savvy, if you will, because you don't want to leave a blemish. And they have not. I think for the party, they should let him finish. And then, ensue all this racket or distractions after he finishes his term. I think it's a waste of money to try to push him out at this point. The prosecutor did say all these women are reputable, or the majority of them are reputable.
Let me ask you a question, Jan. Why do you think Biden jumped on that wagon so soon?
Because, he had to do it for his own face, to save his own face. I mean,
I think he was pressured.
No, I agree with him because I agree with TTGM because the reporter had asked, you had previously made comments saying that if the Attorney General found Andrew Cuomo guilty, that you said he should, resign. Do you stand by your comments that you made a few months ago? He couldn't backslide at that point and say, no, I don't stand by my comments. He said yes.
He asked him to step down, right?
He did, because that's what he said a couple months ago when the investigation first opened. He couldn't backslide. He would have been, persecuted by the whole media.
He should have lied like the Republicans did. Oh, I don't remember saying that. Look, I don't remember saying that. Shit is working for them.
But see, the Democrats think we stand on morality and we have moral compasses and we love and embrace all, and we'll hug a tree, we'll hold this person's hand, and it's because we're a melting pot. I mean, we're a bunch of mutts, you know what I mean? But the Republican Party, they're about generational wealth. They're about trying to place their children on boards in CEO positions. They want to run the country, and they don't give a damn who really is in office. But the only way they can push that agenda is when you side with a party that has the same mindset as you. Yeah. They don't care. It's nothing new. And the Democrats largely do care. And we accept everybody. So, I mean, we can't get to this point and start throwing out what we think is trash, because we're all the mutts who made the party. It's more idealistic than realistic, for real. You know what I mean? Because you still have people in the Democratic Party who want restitution for slavery, who want restitution, their 40 acres and a mule. They want free health care. They just constantly want and want and want. And nothing can run with just withdrawals and no deposits.
Hey, Bobby Clifford, but
I love that statement. Somebody just said Democrats fall in love and Republicans fall in line.
Very true. But TT,
Isn't that the truth?
let me ask, actually, this is to both you and Bobby Clifford. How did you guys feel about Andrew Cuomo's comments after the Attorney General made her statement? You know, he was saying, this is not true. I am a very, affectionate person. Yes, I call you sweetheart sometimes. I may kiss you on the forehead. That's just how I was grown up. Like, I was raised. I'm Italian. But this isn't true. Like, I didn't do what I'm being accused of. How did those comments make you guys feel?
Jen, do you want to go first?
Sure, you go on.
So, I like Andrew Cuomo. I think he's done a lot for New York. I was very mixed with this, where I am in line for the Me Too movement. I think sometimes it goes a little too far. I am from a generation, and I don't know if Flame can speak to this, where we did hug, we did touch. It was appropriate to touch someone's arm when you told them a story or put your hand on their back. To call them sweetie. I used to call people sweetie all the time. Honey, I probably should.
You call me Toots all the time, and I'm not offended.
I do. I know. I'm sorry. I do have friends that are Italian, both being literally from Italy as well as American Italians. They're super warm. Do I think it's right? I'm not taking away from the women. I believe both. I believe the women feel that somehow that they were touched or spoken to inappropriately. I believe Andrew Cuomo thinks that he did nothing wrong and that he was just being warm or concerned or whatever. I have looked at both sets of data, and that's sort of where I'm on the fence. No, the only other piece I have about that is I don't know what, and I think this is what maybe Biden is speaking to. I agree with Warren that that's the agreement he made, so I think he has to stick by it. Because he said, I'm going to go by the findings. I think he's also speaking to the fact that it's going to be really hard for Andrew Cuomo to lead now that he's been found guilty, whether justly or unjustly. And he's looking for, I think, Biden, what's best for the Democratic people and constituents in that state. So that's my piece on Andrew Cuomo. And people are probably thinking I'm awful or my head's in the sand or...
No, not at all.
But I mean, if that's what you think, who cares what everybody else thinks? You didn't buy your car and you didn't send me an email saying, Jen, what did you think about this? I mean, if that's what you think, that's what you think.
Bobby, your hair looks lovely today. Did you get a conditioning?
I actually did.
It looks great.
I stuck a little something in it this morning, and I actually combed it out before I spoke with you.
It is, we are in such a precedence with the world, with all the shit that's going on. I'm telling you, I don't even know what to think. I'm telling you, and I'm leery about flying now, and I wasn't, and I've been flying. But tomorrow, we're flying on the red eye. I'm going to be sleepy, but I'm going to be sleepy with one eye open, because I'm going to be looking real crazy like that.
You have to.
Bring your duct tape, because let me tell you, I would have duct taped that guy's ass right down. In fact, I would have sat on his ass. He wouldn't have never moved until he had to get off the plane.
I would have too.
Bobby, if I put my duct tape on him, because I use my duct tape on my that nigga would have been stuck for weeks.
Safe and secure. That's
the kind that you
bring
need.
One of those waist trainers. Bring a few of those and stick them on them.
A couple of these waist beads and choke the shit out of them. I mean, if y'all have, but that goes to the alcohol consumptions at the airport. So should they stop serving alcohol on the planes, or should they stop serving alcohol? Should they have a cutoff limit? Because if you first class and you high end like Lauren is part of the Delta, they go to the lounge and they get liquor and food and all that.
They have a cutoff. Like if they see that you're intoxicated, they do have the right on the flight to cut off.
No, this is before you get to the flight. They have lounges at the airport.
We have the Delta Sky Lounge and everything else.
I get what you're saying.
Do they have a cutoff point? Can you just drink in there? See? Because they make money.
Yeah, no. It's not appropriate. If you can't do it on the road, why should you be able to do it in an airport, a confined space? I think that's totally inappropriate.
For 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah,
based on average layovers, you're not there or should be there on the average.
Well, I think the issue too is there's some people that want to go to the airport and go to the lounge. Like I have coworkers that are like, oh, I got to get to the airport 3 hours early and we can just sit in the lounge. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I came to the airport to get on a plane, so I'm going to get there in time to board my flight. But like I said, I have coworkers that are like, I'm going to go to the lounge. And then once you get on the plane, especially if you are in first class and they're opening up, the drink services and the food somewhat. Everything is in a box now for COVID safety, but they'll just keep serving you. If you're like, I want another drink, they'll come and give you another drink. So,
go ahead, Jan. I'm sorry.
No. Oddly enough, government is quite generous in the way they fly their senior managers, and so still, I think that the airport is there to make money. So I don't see them policing because they sell everything there. I mean, that there's a money making, industry.
You're damn straight, because a bottle of water at the airport is $8.66.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. But the people who are in those bars, I mean, us as people, passengers, should be, ew, why would you want to sit in a bar for 3 hours? That's the germiest place other than a hospital in the entire world. You got international germs there.
Right. Well, now, but at first it wasn't looked at like that. No. You know what I mean? It wasn't looked at like that.
Before COVID, I have been on the plane with belligerent flyers, people who have been openly inebriated.
I'll take it a step further. I have been on a flight with somebody who has thrown up because they were so drunk, and we were in the same aisle. And when I tell you, I can't stand throw up. Yeah. Oh, and they literally threw up and they were in the exit row where everybody had to walk past to get off the flight.
The only other thought I had in Flame, I want to know about these waist beads again. I'm nervous. Can you cut them off? Because I'm thinking I'm going to be like one of those turtles that gets the band wrapped around it, and all of a sudden
they have a lock latch. They have a lock latch on them. You can take them off, but it's troublesome to take them off and put them back on. So once they're on, they're on.
That's what I was saying, because when we were younger, we used to make waist beads. Like, you would just get the little string, and then you would tie it at the end, and you would put all your beads on it, and then you would tie it off and put it on your waist. And sometimes it would pop because it wasn't, great string that you had. Or you would just cut it
for another reason.
Yeah.
So my secret is when like yesterday I barbecued and I ate a lot and they got tight, I pulled them up under my boobs.
Exactly.
So I pulled them to a smaller part.
You were cheating.
No, they're boob beads.
I could breathe.
They're boob beads.
No. They was right up under the boobs. They would never go across these monsters.
But, no, they would.
Yeah, they would just right up under. Yeah. So, but you know what? It really is in my head. So now, like when I go to sleep and I'm feeling tight, I'm like, you can't eat because you're too stuffed. You already, they're tight.
It's a good idea, because there's got to be something. I'm thinking anything to reset, especially with COVID. I like wander the grounds at my house all day long because we're remote. Now I found out I'm permanently remote, so something's got to give. I got to think of another way to work. They're leaving us at home permanently remote. The hospital is leaving us permanently. Anybody that's not clinical or patient facing will now not go back to the office.
Ooh, yuck!
How is that for you, Bobby? Like, did you want that, or?
I'm a people person, so I would like to go in a couple of times a week, but it's just not the way it's going to work out. I think what's going to happen is they'll use our offices in the at the hospital and have doc offices where they're paying rents and stuff off campus, and they'll bring them in. So it'll be cost savings for everybody, and they have found that we're really productive at home.
Yeah, but I see that even too here in California, because like I was up at Torrance Memorial last week and they were saying like visitation hours are changing, because they kind of said like, first it was a certain set number of hours, only one person can visit, but then things were getting better, so they opened it up to patients could have as many visitors as they wanted and everything else. But when I was up there last week, they were just like, no, our hours have changed, 12 to 6. Only one person can visit a patient for the day, and they're like, and we're honestly going to go back to no visitation at all. This was just a short compromise before they went back to that, because the numbers are so bad, and they can't they can't leave the patients and the staff at risk.
So us non-essentials, keeping us out of the hospital is less risk for the patients. So that's less germs, less because all those people think they're riding the bus, they're riding the trains. We're all touching the elevators. We're sitting on the same toilets, so it'll keep the patients safer. And I think in this pandemic world, and we have to think about the next one that's coming down the pike.
Right.
So I think that's definitely in the minds of the leadership as well.
I don't know why we can't keep crazy out of government buildings, but it does work for hospitals. Because we get all the crazies we've been having. The only thing still remote is that we're doing court remote. All our courts are remote.
Wow.
Yeah, so that has worked. You know what I mean when I think about what I walk through back and forth. So that is a plus. But as far as the actual government building, we're letting all wacko sackos in as normal.
And Bobby, you had to be vaccinated, right? You're vaccinated, right?
They offered it to us right at the beginning. I was one of the very first people that were vaccinated. We didn't have to be at that time.
Oh, okay.
They're thinking about patient-facing positions, nurses and physicians. They haven't done it yet, but they're thinking of making that mandatory if the variants keep mutating. So, the thought is the more unvaccinated people, the more chance for mutation. So they're trying to keep the patient safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we saw too that New York is shifting their guidelines to you can't go anywhere unless you got a card. So.
But it don't start till September the 13th. I'll be there and back. Shit. I'll be there
I was
and
going
back.
to say, as long as you go to D.C., I don't care what happens. I'm selfish.
I'll be there and back, baby. Because hear me when I tell you, everybody make their own choices, and my choice has been made. So
we're not saying the words. So
no,
let's kind of move on.
And we're not. And I know if it'll make some people feel better, not necessarily you, Flame, but they are talking about it being FDA approved end of September in October. That means more testing has been done.
And
more
that's
data
when I'll say, you know what?
Yeah.
Have your way. But until then,
well, I'll think about it. Yeah, I'll think about it. See what their findings are.
Right.
And then you make your decision.
And I don't want the findings from CNN or ABC or NBC. I want the findings from a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. The head of the CDC is actually from my hospital now, Dr. Walensky. She's lovely. So hopefully, she's very big on data. So hopefully she'll get us what we need. And I think she's very reputable.
Have you noticed too, Bobby, that they've kind of shifted her to more so being the face of this conversation and not so much Dr. Fauci?
Thank God for Jesus.
I think that's interesting. They've kind of made her like the face of what's happening from the CDC.
I think he's very scientific, and I think she's more because she was a patient-facing doctor up until she got this gig, right? She wasn't in the background, running data and stuff. So I think she knows how to speak to us. I think she's a little more succinct. Not that he's not brilliant in his own right. I don't know. I don't really follow him.
He's not.
We know we have a biased opinion in our ranks.
True, and I'm biased about Dr. Walensky. I think she's lovely because she was a lovely person. She was nice to everybody in the hospital.
That's the same nigga that was standing on the press conference with Trump. And when Trump was blatantly lying to us to our face, he put his head down and started laughing. Nigga, that was the perfect opportunity for you to say, hey, that ain't what it is. But he didn't.
You're right. No, you are. For that, I don't know about anything out, but for that specifically, and who's the other one? Burke or Berg?
Birch with the bad teeth.
I think
her name is Deborah Burks.
Her name is Deborah Birch, and she had the fucked up teeth. Did I lie?
With them that they didn't speak up. They should have.
Wait, I'm doing a Fauci. Hold on.
Right? See? Did I lie? She did. How you had that much money and you on TV in the public with them fucked up teeth?
Lord.
She could have got her teeth.
She does wear a lot of scarves. Maybe she puts them around her face. I don't know. Come on.
She could have got her teeth fixed.
Yeah, she was probably Jan. She was probably the big mask pusher because it would cover it, right?
Right.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, y'all are being shady today. Wait a minute. When did we enter this space?
Everybody is, for some reason, everybody is afraid of the orange Cheeto, and I don't know why, but they all were. I don't know why Fauci didn't speak up. That would have been a perfect time.
But you know what? Who knew how to handle this animal called Trump? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
he was special.
He definitely ruled off of fear.
People are still afraid. Why are they still afraid?
He definitely ruled off of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. It's like he had something on everybody, or something on your
and
family,
go back
or something.
to Coffee Time and Love Lounge or Laugh and Learn when I said the reason that he worked so well in politics was because before he got into the political ring, he had did business with the Democrats and with the Republicans. His daddy was a gangster. He knew where the bodies was being. He knew a lot of information on both sides, so they couldn't come after him. He didn't have any business dealings with women, not on a professional level. The business dealings that he had with women had something to do with money and an exchange of semen. But outside of that,
there's Hillary though too. He used to donate to that campaign. Remember that he was involved with the Clintons too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. They ran in the same circle. At least they ran in the same circles in New York, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
You don't know a party by the party you attend, the social gathering you attend. So I can't hold them responsible or give him kudos for being at the same party, because 9 times out of 10, people throw parties on that level, and they want clout by the people they bring out to their fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But given the people who actually had day-to-day, non-social like contact with him have all been consistent that he's been crazy. And but who knew that? But, you know, and I don't want to beat up just being a white male, but if I wake up tomorrow and I'm a white male, I'm going to really show my butt with you guys. I really am, because that's all he really has going for him. You know what I mean?
Well, if it don't look like Ryan Reynolds' butt, I don't want to see it. Let me just let you know that.
But I'm going to show it to you anyway, you know, because, you know, just like when he first ran and they brought out, you know, the women that Clinton had, his alleged affairs with, and he was running against Hillary. And why didn't Hillary speak up? I don't get that. I would have said, I chose to stay with my husband past his indiscretions. You decided to divorce one wife to move on to the next wife. Yeah. You didn't know what that meant when you were using that server. Did you know what it meant when your father had C on the applications for new residents? You knew it meant people of color. You know, I just can't figure out that. I can't figure out. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go to a fight, you know, just to go to a fight. I'm going for a bloodbath. So it's just him. It's this persona. It's all these musclehead black men running behind him, as well as, you know. Yeah,
what I remember all them black ass preachers that was all hugged up, talking something, he the first black president, he's the greatest black president. They was all hugged up with Trump. Remember they was up in the Oval and they was all hugged around him like they was praying. All them soft ass niggas. Where them niggas at?
There was always strategically like placed black people.
One of them did with the jet super jet black hair. He did, you know.
From Warp Speed. Did he die from Warp Speed?
You know, who knows? But he is dead.
She said he
did. And I only know that because his hair was so distracting for me. You know what I mean? But it's, again, you know, we fear, you know, that's how the clans work the fear. It's like, oh my God, here the ghosts, here the ghosts. You know, there were so many people that should have been sitting on the porch saying, I don't know where Mr. Charlie at. I don't know where his family is.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Killed them and buried them all. That's why, you know. But it's just the fear factor, and it's.
Well,
I don't get it.
Bobby and Jan, thank you guys for joining us. You can follow Jan. TT Jan has a show every Thursday on IG Live, The Real TT Jan, where she gives advice. Great. If you want it great, ask her questions. She'll give it to you. And Bobby is my $10 pimp. She pimps me out every day for $10, but she always gives great advice, because on Laugh and Learn, everybody's opinion is valid. We don't criticize you for we want your side, your point of view. You don't always have to agree with us, because we want to hear from different sides. We're here to teach each other and learn from each other. I just talk shit. That's what they pay me for. I want to say about, while we talking about some shit, let's talk about, what's his name?
Who?
Patrick. Florida.
Oh. For those of you who don't know who Patrick is, we were talking about Ron DeSantis,
who is the starfish from SpongeBob SquarePants, just big and dumb for no reason. But Lord. Lauren made me know something last week. Lauren reminded me of something that I might have forgotten and told me the Republicans are way smarter than we give them credit for. Yep. They do a lot of damage, and it looks crazy to us, but they do it on purpose for it to look crazy to us, because they have a method to their madness. And sometimes we get so angry about what we're seeing right in front of us that we're not paying attention to the other shit they doing on the side through the gangway. But Ron DeSantis has Florida. I just feel for you guys, because I'm hoping that when the new election comes out, that you guys think about your grandchildren and your children and not listening to what he's saying, because he is out of sorts. That's the word I want to say.
Well, let me ask you a question. Hypothetically, let's say that you lived in Florida. Let's say that, you know, your kids wanted to go back into school, and then you had a governor like Ron DeSantis that said you can't wear masks coming to school. But if you don't bring your kid to school, you would be in trouble for truancy. What would you do?
I'm going to be in trouble for truancy. Because I can go to jail and get the fuck out, but my daughter getting sick, or my baby, one of my children getting sick and dying, I'm not going to recover from that. I've known people who've lost children. I know people who lost children for 20 years. You know what they tell me? You never recover from the loss of a kid. I don't want to experience that. So you're like we are saying on Laugh and Learn. We're not here to change your mind. We're just here to get you to use your mind. Some of you all are so gullible and fall for peer pressure, and you're 50, 60 years old. Damn, have you never had a thought that was your own? Have you never owned your own? You might not own your home or your car, but do you own your heart and your mind? I'm asking a real question to y'all. Do you own who you are? I own who I am. Good and bad. There's some bad shit up under here too, I'm telling y'all right now. But I own all of it. A lot of y'all don't own it. You just go along with the masses, and it's not always agreeable. You don't always have to be agreeable. Because you might lose some things. You might lose a gig. You might lose a position. You might lose that you didn't get this place that you wanted. But damn it, you will always win, because when you go look in the mirror, the person looking back at you like the decision that you made.
Can I shift? Or do you want to keep talking about Ron DeSantis?
Hell no. Hurry up. Okay. I got gas talking about that.
I'm going to bring something up. And I know we didn't talk about it, but I think it's interesting for you to share your opinion and your side and your view. And some of our listeners have asked.
Security! I'm being attacked!
And some of our listeners have asked how you feel about DaBaby and the comments that he made. I think that it's safe for you to bring it up here and share your thoughts. I know you made a tweet that some people saw, but we are live, and I think that you can address this now, because I think you have a unique perspective.
DaBaby, the mama, the cousin, the brother. First of all, let me say this, and I'm going to say this now, and I'm hoping that you hear me, what I'm saying, because I may not explain it the correct way, but goddamn it, I'm going to be very simplified.
I'm the qualifier.
Yeah, she's going to be to fix it, because, I say some shit sideways. First of all, DaBaby, the most I've ever known about DaBaby is from what has happened recently in the news with him. I never knew his music. I've never heard of this young man. I'm sure he's never heard of who Flame Monroe is and the comedian. So we're in such different arenas and genres that I probably would have never heard of him. Plus, the music that age demographic listens to is shoot the kids, throw the mama out the window, kill these hoes, sell all the drugs, shoot the police. I didn't grow up on music. I grew up with the OJs. I grew up with Jeffrey Osborne. I grew up with Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers and the Emotions. Music that was about love and relationships and happiness. Gladys Knight and the Pips, that kind of music. And I think the music really does segue. But to what he said, and I watched all the videos that people have put up from different angles, he never said if you got HIV and you're LGBT. He never said that. He said if you don't have HIV or AIDS, put your phone up. If you don't smell like water, put your phone up. If you're not sucking penis in the parking lot, put your phone up. A hit dog will holler is what I'm going to say. He wasn't talking to me. I didn't take anything that he said publicly on stage as he was attacking me or the LGBT community or my character or any of that. I don't think he was going after one demographic. I think that he was on stage and live theater. If you've never done live theater, the audience, the energy from an audience on live theater can take you places sometimes that you might not want to go, but you're in the moment. And so you get caught up on that wave. I think that he was caught up on a high with the audience because his audience, that's what they know. That's what they come to him for. That's his support. He got caught on the wave and it got away from him. And before he knew it, y'all was recording it and y'all put it up and they took it and ran with it. I did a campaign for Lauren and then when I first met Lauren, and I went left one day, one of the vignettes that I was, and Lauren was like, right, saying, come back. Not that I was saying something disrespectful, but we were talking about AIDS and HIV because that's what HF is. It's about AIDS and HIV, and they hired me. So I would talk about the personal experience of losing some of my friends back in the 80s and 90s to AIDS, and I took the audience somewhere else, but because I'm a comedian and I'm older, see, he's 29. I'm older. I knew, okay, but you got this audience right here. Come back funny or you're going to scare the hell out of these people. They're going to fall. Nobody is in his camp. No, I got Lauren. Lauren is 26, but this bitch is trained by her mama. So she knows when to corral me and say, Flame, that ain't cool. It looks bad. Bring it back. He needs some people surrounding him in his camp to say, hey, that's not cool. I do see that where he retracted his apology. I didn't agree with him apologizing from the jump. Yeah, I know. I just didn't because I didn't think that he was speaking to one demographic. I think that what he said was insensitive to everyone who has HIV and AIDS, including babies, women, everybody who has, because he didn't just segue and say all gays have HIV. He didn't say that. And when I say I don't agree that he should apologize, I think that he should have talked about it and said, I'm going to fix this. I shouldn't have said it like this or what have you. But to apologize and then to retract the apology, it makes you look even more guilty. Because if I'm going to say I'm sorry one time, I'm a cancer. That's all the fuck you getting. I'm not going to keep talking about it. And when I'm wrong, I'm going to openly admit that I'm wrong. But remember, I'm 56. He's 29. Who's surrounding him? Because the people that are surrounding me, including Lauren and Nick, and people who would tell me, look at here, Flame, that ain't right, that ain't cool. And you know I can go left. Y'all know I can go left. But he needs a stronger team around. He needs, instead of all y'all canceling him, he needs some strong men in his circle. Men, not women. Men to say, hey, brother, you're a man. You're growing up to be a man. This is what we need to do to make this better for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that's the key piece here, especially because, like you've mentioned, like I work for the largest, HIV/AIDS service organization in the world, really. And I think what I see time and time again, especially with us, and I mean us black folks, is that we're very ignorant, and there's so much stigma associated with being gay, having HIV, and there's just a strong lack of education. So my thoughts are, I think that what he said was very ignorant, but I think that he's also too misinformed. I don't think that anybody's taken the time to sit him down and say, hey, this is what it is. Like, HIV is not a death sentence. HIV and AIDS are not the same thing. I don't think he's had the education. And I think being misinformed, having the lack of education and just being ignorant, you get situations where we got these young black men out here making these disparaging comments because they just don't know any better. But that's how they were raised. And that's kind of like I don't know what you want to call it, just kind of the stigma of our community. Yeah. And it's so unfortunate because, if I have to travel and I have to go into a church and have to, extend services that we provide as an AIDS service organization, there's ways that we have to talk to people. It's still a touchy subject to talk about 40 years later. Yeah. So I think that he needs to be educated, and I don't think people should be canceling this young black man. I think that people should be taking this opportunity to educate him and uplift him in a way so that way he knows better next time. Because just talking crap about him and being negative and canceling him, that's not going to help him. And that's not going to help our community.
That's going to make him angry and more frustrated, and then he going to make more angry music. Yeah. Hear me when I tell you, and all these celebrities jumping in on it. Madonna, and I'm a Madonna fan. Hear me when I tell you, I grew up loving Madonna. But Madonna created envelopes in the 80s to push the envelope. Madonna created shit that y'all had no idea. Let's even go back to some shit right now that if y'all looked at that they don't show, like a prayer. She got on her knees in front of a black man burning a cross that was dressed. Do you know white people was jumping out the goddamn windows back then? And now they're even worse. Then Sir Elton John made his comment. He was not talking to you all. Everybody wanted to comment on it because everybody thought it was going to make them relevant, or who was going to say the correct statement. I don't care about saying the biggest statement or the most impactful statement. What are y'all teaching this man? That's what Laugh and Learn is. What are you teaching this young man to make him do better, to make him say better, to make him know better? Because they say knowing better is doing better. That ain't always true. I knew better than Nick Cannon knew better. He's hip knocking them out. Now, he ain't put no condoms on yet. But I ain't mad at you, Nick. Knock it out. The baby, they say Nick. Woo! They say Nick, and you can throw it over your shoulder burping. How you doing, baby?
I do want to also just say too, we got a delivery truck. I just want to say too, it's not about him being a child and saying he should know better. If somebody is not raised in a certain way, or somebody is not taught something, or if somebody doesn't know something, the fact that he's a child or a grown-ass man, it doesn't matter. He needs to be educated. And I think that's the problem, is we're so quick to, scrutinize our people. Like, we have a serious lack of education in our community, and taking opportunities to bash and, ridicule each other is not going to be beneficial in any way. No. We need to take these opportunities to educate us. I don't care if you're 5 or if you're 70. If you need education, you need education. Point blank, period. that shouldn't be what we're trying to scrutinize here. Education needs to be enforced across the board. That's the only way we're going to get better and better ourselves as a people. That's the only way.
And now you know why she's sitting right here next to me, because guess what? I be to say it wrong. She'll say it right.
But no, I think you did say it right, though, because that's why I also brought it up, because I think you always bring a unique perspective to issues and topics like this, which is important for people to see the other side and not to go with what the societal, ideas and standards are.
Well, get ready for it, y'all, because we taped the Breakfast Club on the 18th, and that is definitely something that they do want to talk about. My stance will not change. I will try to simplify it and say it in the clearest form without trying to ruffle any feathers. But of course, there is no such thing. I will always ruffle a feather, because I'm going to speak from my heart and my mind, because I speak for me and how I feel. I can't worry about how you feel. I can listen to you. Yeah. But that's your feelings. That's how you feel, and what you intake. It's the way you intake it. Maybe I'm different because I internalize things differently, but I don't know. So y'all get ready for the 19th, baby, because when it drop, I'm gonna be looking good, smelling good, and talking plenty shit, baby.
And the last thing that I'll say on it, because I know this is another component of it, is let's say, the baby does get the education and he is informed and he still chooses to take an ignorant stance. Well, then y'all can cancel the hell out of him.
Exactly.
Then y'all can cancel the hell out of him.
But be responsible for teaching and helping before just canceling. If we're going to cancel you, we're going to give you a reason why we cancel you. We're going to tell you so you don't do it again, because he seems to be very talented. And for what he has millions of followers. For what he brings to his demographic, they love it. They fucking love it. But we just jumping on the bandwagon. Again, I'm going to say, a hit dog will holler. Nigga, you ain't hit me. That didn't affect me at all. It didn't stop my check or add one to me. Bring on Dawn. So, yeah, I just want to get that out, because we got about 5 minutes. Come on, Dawn, and close us out, because I got a dentist appointment.
Oh.
I don't want to go. I got to get shots and shit. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
Hey, y'all.
Come on, Braids.
How y'all doing?
Talk to us, Dawn. Talk to us about Cuomo, the baby, whatever.
I'm still not watching much news, and I'm catching clips of Cuomo, and I saw his little Easter speech, and I'm like, oh God. And I'm not trying to dismiss the women, because I'm a woman and I've been in that position, but I sued and won. But I didn't get on TV and say he said this, he said that. I cussed him out, got a lawyer, and got my money. That's me, And I think we need to pick our battles, y'all. We need to pick our battles. We fight. Y'all talking about the Democrats and the Republicans got their shit together. Okay?
For a long time.
We still trying to figure out what happened 30 years ago, and the Republicans getting ready for 2022, 2024, and come on now.
You right, Dawn.
Y'all taking the what's important is what's going on right now. I don't give a damn about Cuomo. He got New York where they are. New York is cool. Whatever. Look, women, we need to start, as women, we need to start putting our foot down, cussing some of these men out, getting in their pockets, and if they got wives, tell their wives about it. You need to control your husband.
Well, Dawn, and I hear you, Dawn, and I'm not a woman, but Lauren works in corporate America. Is that fair to you, though? Then you change your lifestyle, because here it is. When you say that, they fire you, they terminate you, they badmouth you.
Well, you know what? I got fired, but I won my lawsuit too.
Yeah, but did you have to change your living situation? So what have you?
I had to do all that, but you know what? But I came back on top.
But everybody ain't built like that, Dawn. Some women feel like I'm not going to get another good job. I'm going to lose my stature. They're going to put a bad word out against me. It's a lot of variables.
They did that. I work out of town. I'm not even in my own hometown to work.
I know that. I live in Long Beach. I would love to be living in Chicago, but
okay. So I'm home for 2 weeks for a visit, but I have to work in bumfuck Egypt. But I did it. It wasn't easy, losing your job at 40-something years old. It was not easy, because been on one job for almost 20 years. What am I gonna do? You know what I did? I trust myself. I trusted God, and I kept it moving.
Amen.
And we need to pick our own battles, because you know what? These Republicans getting ready to fill up these local seats. the state seats and the federal seats. While them Democrats ain't doing shit.
Yeah, they are. They arguing about who Cuomo touched.
Yeah.
They arguing about what mask you got to wear. They arguing. Let me tell you something.
You're arguing about a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, if a private entity say wear a mask, put your mask on. I don't want to wear a mask, and I don't. But if a building say have your mask on, I put my mask on. Okay, pick your battles, everybody. We got too much at stake that's going on. Besides, who got a can of Lysol? Who got toilet paper? Who wearing a mask? Come on now, come on.
I never stopped wearing my mask. I never stopped. I didn't either. I never stopped when even when they dropped the mandate.
Y'all were talking about the people cutting up in the airports. I mean, on the plane. What? I sit in first class, so I'm gonna get up and turn around and film. Because we don't, when you pay, I feel like this, when I pay that kind of money, I ain't clowning. I got somewhere to go. I'm like you, Lauren. If you hit that exit door, then I'm going to fly at you. But, duct tape your ass. And then we're going to stop and let the police come pick your ass up and take you to jail. And we're going to get back in the air. It's time out for bullshit.
Let's just address that, because you hear that crazy fool who they duct tape Thompson. My parents are worth $2 million. Well, nigga, why you flying on Frontier all the way in the back?
Exactly.
Let's talk about it, because that's their money. That ain't your money. That's their money.
But Flame, the last administration made it okay to act a donkey. Because remember, January 6th, they were good people.
Yep.
They were touring the Capitol. So the last administration said it was okay. When you had the last, see, let me tell you something. We sleeping now. We don't know what they doing in that White House. But see, when we had the last administration, one thing about the devil, y'all quote me. One thing about the devil, when the devil getting ready to do something, he gonna tell you about it. He'll tell you before he did it. And the last administration, before he even woke up, he was tweeting about what he was gonna do.
He sure was.
He was, and I'm not taking up for him because he's the biggest butthole. But he told us what he was getting ready to do. But see, now we got enough. We were so hell bent to get him out, and we need, but rightfully so. We don't know what them jackasses doing in this administration, because I'm not a fan favorite, right? I'm not a fan favorite. I'm just saying, Flame. I'm just saying, Lauren.
Oh no, Dawn. Let me tell you, your opinion is valid.
It's your opinion.
It is valid.
I'm not a fan favorite because I don't want to fly off the subject, but see, everybody else getting laws and rights, but black people.
Biden wasn't my favorite. You ain't said shit. Biden was never my. I wanted Yang. I wanted Andrew Yang. I said that publicly many times.
Yeah, and I voted for Bernie. So
and see, with Bernie, it's about class. But you see, we sitting up here worrying about a goddamn mask, and who gonna have a mask on in the kids' school? These kids need to go back to school. They need socialization, because some of these kids don't even have a full meal.
Yeah.
Unless they in school, because the parents are whatever, But we talking about
and some parents are struggling. Look, while we talk about parents and kids, I don't want to leave without saying this. To Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter with your own kids, girl, go to bed. Go your ass somewhere and get you a goddamn job. He has taken care of. See, y'all will let us say, "Oh, he's a celebrity. He's rich. He should be taking." He has probably taken care of his daughter more times than we know. I got a 17-year-old here who can spend my money faster than I can sign a check to make it. Hear me when I tell you, she only 17. She 38 with her own kids.
38, and let me tell you something. She should have got at least one of them stimulus checks. Where you been?
She should have got her cut before the ex-wife getting this $300,000 a month, cause that's what she fucked up at. Cause now she ain't gonna get no kind of allowance.
Dre still got $30 million coming in a year, but I see your point though. She's grown as hell.
You're good, grown. You couldn't. It's not like you struggling. If you working, you trying to make ends meet, and then you ask your dad for help. But bitch, you 38. Why
with kids
ought to be embarrassing. With kids. When I lost my job and I had to rely on my retired parents to help me, that was embarrassing. So I was trying to find a job anywhere I could, so I wouldn't have to ask them for money. You know what I mean? Because you don't. Oh Lord.
Everybody ain't the same, Dawn.
Please teach that to Izzy. Please teach that to my daughter.
I'm cut from a different cloth.
I know you are.
We come from an era that, our parents raised us to be independent, but, go to work. You want something, you go to work. My daddy told me a long time ago, in order to get what you want, sometimes you got to pick shit with the chickens.
Ooh.
You got to pick shit with the chickens. And guess what? I picked a lot of shit with the chickens. Not no more. Okay?
Yeah.
So we just got to pick our battles. These kids got to go to school. The Republicans got their game plan. They in the hood.
Oh, honey, I said it. You heard me tell you the Democrats is pussies.
But I think that's the good point too. Is we talk about the Republican strategy, and that's what Flame and I talked about last week. As soon as the episode was over, is that Republicans know what they're doing. It's no different when Ted Cruz tried to tell the people of Paris, Texas, that Biden rejoining the Paris Accord was going to affect them, knowing damn well that had nothing. One had nothing to do with the other. But now he's got all these people in Paris, Texas, thinking that, Biden's messing with their livelihoods and their possible jobs and everything else. The Republicans know how to create dissension accordingly. They're very good at it. And they know what they're saying makes no sense, has no validity, but they're going to say it.
But Lauren, like I said, the last administration made it okay to say and do what they want to do. Because when you can say that Mexicans are all killers and this, that, and the other. And I was waiting for him to say all black people, all you niggas need to go back to Africa. I was waiting for that to come out, but he was slick enough not to say it. But when you can say that these people, see, they don't think January 6th happened. It didn't happen.
Do you know that if we all went back to Africa, real talk, how many January 6s they would have without us here? Because it was a couple of us there, but if we not, and I said a couple, they wasn't us. It was a couple of black folks there. They wasn't part of my shit.
Yeah, of course.
But do you know how many January 6th? Because when they can't get their way, I love old black and white movies. They have been doing insurrections since the 30s and 40s. Yeah, this ain't no new shit. They've been doing it for years when they can't get their way.
And they would have no economy if we weren't here. That's the whole reason that they went to Africa to get us in the first place. Because they couldn't build this economy or this country by themselves.
But I always say this. Jim ain't got nothing on Jim Jones. I mean, we ain't got the last administration. Jim Jones wasn't shit compared to this one, because when you can tell a group of people we're gonna fight like hell and we're gonna take it back. See, it goes to show you the mentality of some people, how stupid they are.
Ooh, say it again, Dawn. Say the word stupid one more time.
How stupid they are. And they really,
girl, one more time. Oh, I felt the sad, Dawn.
Stupid they are. And for them playing to sit up there, that monkey, and they call us monkeys, to be climbing the walls while he's sitting in a bungalow somewhere watching this
laughing.
Laughing. It goes to show you how stupid people are. So you keep drinking that red and grape Kool-Aid, you dumbasses. I'm gonna sit here and watch them and see what color the wall's gonna be.
Girl, it's gonna be January the 6th. It's gonna be stupid.
Well, that's a hell of a way to close us out, Dawn.
Dawn, thank you, my darling.
Passion and the energy. Yes.
Thank you, Dawn. Y'all follow Texas Star 42. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining us today for Laugh and Learn. Thank you, Kendall, our wonderful cameraman. On vacation, Nick and Triple. I saw Nick popped in here, but I thought Nick was on vacation. That's why we didn't bring Nick in.
Nick is in Mexico.
And we appreciate you guys. Thank you, Lauren Hogan. Our slogan here at Laugh and Learn. Oh, before we go. If you're coming to the event on September the 6th in Chicago, the tickets are on eventbrite.com/flame. They're $30. VIP is $30. You my best friend, $30. If you my mama, it's $30. So it's $30, and I'm not taking money at the door. September 9th through the 12th, DC Comedy Loft. Get your tickets at DC Comedy Loft. Hey, Big Meech. September the 25th, I will be at the Level Up Bar and Lounge in Philadelphia, and September the 30th, I'll be in Atlanta for iHeart. But on the 18th of this month, I'm taping
Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne, The God, Envy, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee. So y'all look for that on that. I got a cute blouse too and some cute hair. Ooh, I'm finna give it to y'all. I don't know about this mouth, and I'm gonna have on my red lipstick. Y'all like my red lips? I got this from Liquid Burns. Ain't it red?
Not the duck lip. Come on, get the duck lip together. Wait a minute.
So, and thank you. And I'm going to Ida's taping of
her 1 hour special.
Her 1 hour special for HBO Max. I'm very excited about that. I implore you guys and encourage you guys to stay safe, follow your own rules, live by your own rules, and beat to your own drum, because your music don't sound like nobody else's music. My music don't sound like yours, and yours don't sound like mine. But if you're in tune with your music, you'll be a happier person, I promise you. Lauren Hogan, what we do at this show?
Oh, at Laugh and Learn, we are not getting anybody to change your mind. We are simply trying to get you to use your mind, because why?
In order to use your mind, you got to have one, because some of y'all lost. Some of y'all voted for that nigga now. Yeah, let me see how we get started. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for Laugh and Learn. We so appreciate you guys, because without you, there would be no us. Peace. Have a safe week.
Laugh and Learn is a production of the Black Effect Network and iHeartRadio. Our executive producer is Tiffany Haddish. The show is produced by Tribble. Our theme music is by Chrissy Payne.